Scrap and Ames fans, how are we all? Well, I'm back and this is the last Challenge Tuesday for January. It might be a little bit late, but here we go. Now this one's for the Scrapping Clearly Sketch Challenge for January 2018. I usually show the sketch and I probably didn't, but you'll be able to check out the sketch on the Scrapping Clearly blog, or on their Facebook page anyway. So what I've just done is grab some of that purpley coloured Dilutions paint with the stencil I use, which is a Kaiser Craft one, and just using a little ink dauber there, I just smooshed it through the stencil. One trick I've learned is not to put, you don't need a lot of this paint. It's quite thin, it sort of goes a long way, and with the stencils and the ink dauber, the best thing I find is just to gently push it through, and it leaves a nice imprint on the page underneath, which is really good. So I'm using this little bag that I had sitting around in my stash, because we all keep random things in our stash as scrapbookers. I'm just using this oxide ink just to paint it coat this in this blue colour, and I really loved this idea. I don't know where I got the idea from. I think I needed a different colour. I didn't want the white because of the white sort of cardstock background as well. And the sketch has like a tag sort of thing sitting in behind one of the photos, I think. You might actually see the sketch come up on my phone shortly. I think I may have taken that out. But anyway, you'll see it. So yes, it is actually Tuesday night of the 30th of January here. I am a bit delayed where I've been away and getting ready for school. Kids going back to school next week, so all of that fun stuff. So I've really not had a lot of editing, videoing, whatever time. I did some scrapping while I was away, so you might have seen that up on my Instagram page while we were away on holidays, but I really didn't get I did no filming. So yeah, so now I'm just going to try and get back to a normal scrappy schedule. I did have my last guest design spot for Flutterby's Designs go up on my channel yesterday, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. I was very excited to be a guest designer for Flutterby's for January for Flutterby Design. So yeah, pop by and check it out. Now, I think these diamond patterns are in the background of the sketch, so I've just incorporated onto this tag using some little cuts of paper I did, really sort of relatively rough diamonds I've just cut out by hand. So if I can find the picture, and I think that's what I've done there. Instead of actually, let's see if I can find it. No, that's not that one. Yeah, so in the background on the sketch, it's like a pattern, a diamond pattern. So instead of the diamond pattern, I've gone with that other sort of wavy, circular kind of shape with the paint. And then I wanted to still incorporate that diamond pattern through these pieces on the bag. I just thought it was something a bit different. My interpretation, I thought it was a bit different, so I went with it. And I went through and decided to also, I think with this challenge, I was actually challenging myself to use a bit more of my 6x6 paper pads. Now, I've said that in a previous video. I really want to try and use them a bit more. They seem to sit there and, collect some scrap and dust and not actually get used. So I'm trying to use that a little bit more. And for me, it doesn't matter if it's put away or if it's on my desk. Things can sit on my desk and not be used either. So, and I don't have, because I share my desk, I can't just leave it lying around. So yeah, so I'm trying to make a conscious thought process to use those things. Now this really wacky sort of colourful paper there, pattern paper, is actually from a Kaiser Craft paper pack. I don't know what it's called. Is it Fiesta maybe? It's not Spring Bloom, I don't think. Can't remember exactly which one. I'm pretty certain it's like Fiesta. It's a bit of a cool little funky name. But if you want to know exactly, let me know. I don't know. It probably was discontinued potentially by now, because I think when I brought it, it was on its way out with a few other of the paper packs. So I got them as a bit of a Kaiser Craft, sale bundle deal thing. So I'm just going with that. So just incorporating that banner. Now you can, you can see it on my phone if you can sort of see the sketch there actually. So it's got that sort of banner piece behind that photo. So the journaling as well for this page, which as you can see, well, you probably can't hear, but is actually on the tag behind that photo there in the sketch. that's why I've put it in that paper bag. I just thought it was something a bit different element. It's still sitting there as per sort of the guts of the sketch, but it's just my interpretation of that section. So as I've said before, usually I try and do the guts of the sketch and then I'll add my own bits and pieces. With this sketch, I think I stuck to the guts of it, but it was my interpretation of those that was different, if that makes sense. So here it's a tag with journaling behind that second photo. For me, it was a tag with journaling inside a little like paper bag or whatever it's called. And again, just use I did just use double-sided tape there instead of glue, like a wet glue. Because the mixed media, it's not really wet. It's, as I said, the paint is really thin. So it also dries really quickly. Hence why, you know, I sort of just like bang, bang, bang and it's done. So it hasn't come up. So it works quite fine, which is really good. So just going through and sticking bits and pieces down. I don't know if I can't remember if I lay in my photos. Now, I was away, as I said, I went on holidays last week. This was actually done the way I was trying to be really organised and have all of my videos up for when I came back as well for this week, because I knew this week would be pretty hectic in the last week of school holidays here in Canberra. But I didn't end up getting it to it because the week before we went away it was also really hectic. So it didn't quite happen the way I planned. So as I said, this will be uploaded. I'm just doing this voiceover now and then I will get it uploaded at some point this evening. So probably really won't go up until the early hours of tomorrow morning-ish, which is Wednesday here. For those not in this time zone, it's perfect timing. It's Challenge Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday at some point. But yeah, for us Aussies, it will be Wednesday. So yeah. So I just laid those. Again, these are all just 6x6 pieces of paper. I've gone with the flowery, floral, you know, those sorts of looks with my papers and stuff. Just because that I brought that element from the sketch where there's big floral pieces on it around the photos and stuff as almost like embellishments. So I've just stuck with that type of thing. Oh dear. See, now I was going to edit this out. As you can see, bit of a fail. I was putting it on craft foam and then got sidetracked and didn't. So I had to rip it up, which didn't tear anything, I don't think. Oh, there might be a little mark on the photo itself, but anyway. And as for my photos, I've had a few people ask questions-wise about doing them. I print photos at home. I have a photo printer here, but I've started to bulk order, like I did a bit of a bulk order with Snapfish a few weeks back, just because I wanted to finish off 2016 and because I had like 3 months worth of photos to print, so there was about 100 or 130 photos or something. I wanted to print them in bulk elsewhere because otherwise that's just a real costly amount with my ink here at home. And yeah, so that's what I've done. But these photos are printed at home on just sort of photo paper I get at Officeworks. And you can tell the difference, I guess. Like when I got my Snapfish order yesterday or whatever it was, I can open them and you can tell the difference. So yeah, so you know. Generally, I'll print at home if I can because that's the point of having it. But if I've got like a big bulk amount that I want to do, then I will potentially order them as well. And then I just sort mine out into family photos and then the 3 kids albums. So and I'm still sticking with that. This year we'll have a family album and then individual kids stuff will go into their individual albums. Alright. I was a bit worried how the double-sided tape would go on this paper bag, actually. I didn't know whether or not it would rip. It didn't, clearly, but yeah. What am I doing? Oh, no. So this little bit, pretty much this last little bit here is me just basically, yeah, just popping everything down, you know, using different pieces from different collections to try and to embellish the page a bit. But as I said, you know, for the most part, this is the guts of it. So like here, I don't have big, puffy, florally kind of pieces, which is what I envisaged when I the looked at the sketch. So what I've done is just try to incorporate it in my own way with bits and pieces. I did put the title, which is Game On, because I am scrapbooking a photo of, we had a family game night, not last year, now the year before. Oh no, it was last year, sorry, at my auntie's house. And we had all our kids with us one weekend, and yeah, played Crash Bandicoot when it first came back out onto PlayStation. So we're a bit of a Crash Bandicoot fanatics in this house. All right. And those blue stickers, I don't know where they're from, but they're really glittery and I love them. So I need to figure out where they're from, because I brought them off someone, so I didn't actually have the original packaging. So I'm sure they're not too hard to find, and they're potentially not even going to be around anymore. But anyway, so yeah. What am I doing? I must be looking for something. Editing at its best here, guys. So I've put a resin flower and another purpley flower, which is just from like a reject shop ephemera pack, actually. Oh, I'm rummaging around for more flowers. See, as I said, I didn't have a lot of big flowery sort of things. So I've been looking for it. I don't think I used those red ones in the end. I don't think they really matched. It's almost kind of tropical looking, really, isn't it, with those Kaiser Craft colours. And then add that flower. It's kind of cool, hey? So with this layout, I didn't go with the theme of the photos as such. I did go with some of the colours, definitely, but not the theme of like a games night. So I just pulled colours and the sketch as my guide. So yeah. Now this is a sticker sheet from Kaiser Craft 2 from the same piece. So just looking for bits and bobs to fill in the parts of the sketch that were there. All right, just looking. And this is my first voiceover in like a week and a half, so alrighty, I think I might be nearly done. Oh no, and I really liked the way I added, I have to say, and you go back and look at these things so you can sort of, you know, other YouTubers might get this. I liked those little word stickers that were on this sticker sheet that I've just popped around everywhere. They fitted in really well, they matched the colours really well, but it just added something, little pops of something a bit different. I get it different, but even, yeah. I think they worked really well. I wasn't too sure of this sketch in the end because of the whole floral bit, but I just sort of decided that I would take a different approach to it, and here it is, it's worked. So I just journaled on my tag there that I will pop back in to that bag, just decorating it just a little bit, and away it goes. Now this is for my stepdaughter's album, actually. Just adding some little bit more pops of colour here, there and everywhere, and I think that's another little resin flower. Alright, and just to finish all that off, I'm just adding my little doodly border, which actually worked really well on this layout. Usually of late when I've been doing doodly borders, they end up like off the page and I'm colouring in my bloody craft mat. But there we go. It is all done. I have some close-ups coming up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I should hopefully be back again at the end of the week with my Arty Fun Friday video for you. A new round of challenges will start next Tuesday. Bye.